Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us right now, the Longview football head coach, John King. How you doing, Coach?
Doing fine, Brian.
Congratulations on a big win over Marshall this past week. Talk a little bit about your team's performance in a dominant shutout victory.
Well, I thought we came out and did some good things on both sides of the ball, and turnovers played a major factor, and we were able to capitalize on theirs. And defense was able to go out and shut them out. So anytime you shut out a team, you got to feel good about how well your defense played, and that's been the case the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you. How they played against North Little Rock and Friday against Marshall. That's how we're supposed to play defense in Longview.
Your game started about an hour and a half or a little longer late. What do you do with a team when you're trying to keep them warm and keep them ready for a football game, and you got to get started that late?
Well, that was kind of new territory for these kids. We've had to go through those in the past, but I think this is the first time a lot of these kids have had to go through a rain delay. And big thing is get them off their feet. I know they were excited and ready to play. Thought we had one of our best pregame warm-ups of the year, and come in and you have an hour and a half delay. So just get them off their feet, calm them down. Keep them focused on playing the game and not all the distractions going on around them.
Talk a little bit about how your quarterback, Desmond Chumley, played. The sophomore had a pretty nice night.
Yeah, he did. He did some good things. Did things we thought he could do. Threw some nice balls. He was 3 for 3, and it was nice for us to be able to protect, number one, and keep some pressure off of him and him to make the right decisions. All things added up to a good showing, and those are things that we feel like he can do for us. And Stefan, he had a couple of good throws as well, so I thought both of them did well.
And your running game with Torrey White was very effective, too.
Well, it was. He didn't have many carries, but, the first one I think he went about 40 for a score, and next time he touched it, he went about another 35 yards. He didn't have a big night. We only ran 27 offensive plays, so everybody's touches were down the other night.
Does a game like that help you at all when you know Marshall's down a bit, and I don't want to take anything away from your team's performance, but they're not what they have been. So what do you get out of a game like that?
Well, no, they're not what they've been, but they're young, and I think Coach Richters will get them headed in the right direction. I've seen improvement out of the Mavericks each week, we just say we're able to smother them and they couldn't get out of the hole, but you gain confidence playing a team like that, but you got to take everything into perspective. I don't necessarily think that we were 48 points better the other night than what we were the week before, but we did see improvement. We had fewer busts. Kids, all of them got a chance to play, and that's big. I mean, it sure helps the attitude of the dressing room when all the kids get in the game.
Absolutely, and it's a great game to have going into the ball game you're going to play this week when you go to Abe Martin Stadium to take on the Lufkin Panthers. Yeah,
got our hands full, and it'll be a different level of what we've seen any game this year. Coppell, North Little Rock, Marshall, you name it. I know what to expect going down there, and our coaches do, and the 7 guys that's been there before on this varsity football team, the other 48 don't know what they're in store for. This is going to be a hostile environment. And they're going to be ready to play. They'll be excited to play, and they're going to play at a different level than they have all year long, and we better be ready to match it.
How do you rate playing at Abe Martin Stadium with any other place that you play?
It's a great environment for high school football. I know that there's complaints about the stands and the dressing room and so forth, but let me tell you what, when you get out there on the field and that ball's kicked off and everything that happens on the field between those white lines, there's not any better football played anywhere in the country.
Now, John Outlaw is no longer there, obviously. Obviously their coaching staff is basically the same, but is there anything you see different about this Lufkin team now with Coach Outlaw no longer on the sidelines?
Not really. I mean, the nuts and bolts of the program are still in place. Todd was with him 20-some years, and he was his right-hand man and had a lot of say in what they did. He's continued that great tradition, work ethic that it takes for teams like Lufkin to be successful, and they've continued that. They've tweaked a few things, just like any coach would do. Same thing I did when I took over to coach college. There was ways I wanted to do things, whether the way we practiced or the ways that you do things scheme wise, and but you're not. There's no wholesale changes made. What they've had in place has been successful. The record speaks for itself, and I think Todd's going to continue that.
What kind of football team do they have this year?
Well, it's typical Lufkin. They're big, they're fast, they're physical, and they play extremely hard. They give great effort. Kids are excited. I think they're on a mission. With the loss of Coach Outlaw, that's just kind of added fuel to the fire. They want to get back to the winning ways and make deep playoff runs again.
What matchups concern you the most about this football team?
Well, every week to me, the concern's the matchup in the trenches. How well you're going to stack up on either side of the ball and be able to control the line of scrimmage. And they've got some matchups out wide for us that concern me. They got some big, tall receivers they've been getting the ball to, throwing jump balls, and they can go up and get it and take it away from your defensive backs. But if you can get pressure on the quarterback, or you can control the line of scrimmage, kind of make one team get one-dimensional, then chances are you can win the football game.
And they come off of a game against Nacogdoches. It was kind of like the game you had against Marshall, so they probably got to play everybody and got a good confidence boost, too. So you guys ought to be, full of testosterone coming into Friday then, huh?
Well, yeah, they kind of had a similar game, and that series has kind of, been one-sided here of late. But, they're what they look like on tape with Nacogdoches is not going to be the Lufkin team we're going to see Friday night. I can tell you that. They're going to play at a different level, and that's something we better be ready for. And you haven't beaten them on the road since '97. What do you have to do to kind of turn that thing around? I think you got to protect the football, number one. That's bit us in the rear end down there last few times. Turnovers, and turnovers at the wrong time, right before the half. Give them a quick score, and, we've been down there 2 scores, and they battled back to take the lead because of mistakes we made, and us not making the plays and not making them. So protect the football, not give up the big plays, and find a way to come up with some big plays on your own, whether it's kicking game, offense, defense, you name it. Somebody's going to step up and find a way to make the game-changing play, take the bull by the horns, and not wait on somebody else to do it. Well, it's a great rivalry. It always is a terrific football game. We'll look forward to seeing it on Friday night, Coach. Thanks very much for coming on with us. Okay. Thank you, Brian. Coach John King from Longview Lobos on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.